Alpha-Centauri System. Alpha-Centauri was the first solar system outside Sol to be colonized. Expansion beyond the home system was essential for the nascent empire, as its practice of raiding planets and extracting all usable resources was rapidly exhausting those planets it colonized. The system is now experiencing a vicious civil war between planets loyal to the Empire and those whose loyalties lie with the League of Free Worlds. The warp hole from Sol was breached in 4175 AD, and the planet Erato was colonized the same year. The final planet to be colonized was Vergia in 4234. Although by this time, the Empire was already planning expansion much further afield. The current civil war has repercussions for both the Empire and the League, as the system's proximity to Sol makes it of great strategic importance. Data traps have collected a number of encoded briefings detailing the Empire's concern over the future of Alpha Centauri. Chief amongst these was Memo X33RTY, which clearly stated that obliteration of the entire system would be considered if it fell to the League.
Alpha Centauri is generally heavily defended by the Empire. However, the League has the advantage of controlling a number of bases and some hardware within the system. Detailed information regarding Empire activities is available, although decoy data transmissions are known to be frequent.
Erato is a rock planet housing mineral mines and a number of Navy installations which have been destroyed by vandalism. The population of Erato is loyal to the League of Free Worlds. Despite frequent raids from the adjacent Empire's stronghold of Deucalion, a military cell structure established during the early phase of the uprising seems capable of defending the planet with great effect. Erato was colonized in 4175 AD following a successful breach of the warp hole from the Sol system. It is probable that the first attempt to reach Erato resulted in the destruction of the pioneer craft Pilgrim Father, although Empire Command issued a blackout order banning the circulation of this information. A number of hijacked memos allude to the signing of an official secrecy document ordering the non-disclosure of unspecified information. This is thought to refer to the swearing in of a new crew and the dispatch of a replacement pioneer craft. During the 7th phase of the anti-Empire uprising, all military installations on Erato were seized by groups of miners who had been forced to live underground for up to 9 Earth years at a time. They destroyed all signs of Empire rule and compelled the resident forces to leave. Erato has been a center for League resistance since this time.
Erato has developed such an advanced network of military cells that it is now impossible for any one person on the planet to know the names of more than 2 other people. In this way, the League sympathizers on Erato have successfully defended themselves against infiltration by the Empire. They also refuse to pass on detailed information to the League, fearing that it may fall victim to espionage.
Deucalion is a large rock planet which remains loyal to the Earth Empire. It has developed as an exporter of foodstuffs, in particular of genetically purified cattle strains which are reared in modified biofarms. League scientists have previously made ambitious attempts to alter the genetic makeup of these cattle. The aim being to introduce poison-producing glands which would render the animals worthless as food. These efforts have so far proved unsuccessful. Deucalion was colonized in 4186 AD following the successful landing on Erato 11 Earth years previously. Communication links between Sol and the new colonies in Alpha-Centauri initially proved problematic. There were frequent network crashes which hindered the establishment of the basic colonial infrastructure. Material supplies were often late as request memos went astray. On Deucalion, a number of early colonists starved to death in a remote camp well away from the base landing zone. Their distress messages were deflected by an aerial buffer caused by the planet's low air pressure. Their presence was not suspected until the remnants of the message were detected on Earth itself 76 years later. Deucalion's biofarms house genetically modified cattle bred for food. Experimentation to develop the optimum genetic mix continues on the planet. However, it is believed that this research is also used for military purposes.
As a vital link in Sol's food supply chain, Deucalion is defended by a combination of airborne and ground-based response systems. Certain information suggests that Deucalion is more heavily defended than it initially appears to be. This may indicate that military activity takes place on the biofarms, as well as conventional food production.
Hesta is a rock planet primarily concerned with the manufacture of information technology for civilian use. The planet's surface is coated in a silicate compound, which results in a completely smooth and dust-free environment. It is not unknown for colonists on Hesta to suffer an extreme aversion to these clinical surroundings. This condition is termed Hesta's retort. Specially adapted footwear is worn by all Hesta's colonists, as the lack of friction on the smooth surface renders conventional footwear useless. Hesta was colonized in 4203 AD by representatives of DigiCorpus, creators of civilian computer equipment based on military technology. The clean, dust-free environment offered by Hesta was unsuitable for many of the Empire's requirements. The Bureau for Commercial Development, therefore, invited interested commercial parties to submit plans. DigiCorpus established the first technological village on Hesta in 4205 AD. They were quickly followed by Neverware, Hex Inductors Inc., and TRQX. There does not appear to have been any extraction of Hesta's natural silica-rich deposits. All raw materials are imported from elsewhere in the Empire. Extensive intelligence gathering has failed to reveal any military presence on Hesta. All the planet's exports appear to be strictly for civilian use.
Despite the apparent absence of military installations on the surface of Hesta, the planet has proved impossible for League forces to attack successfully. It is unclear why this should be. However, it should be assumed that heavily cloaked airborne defenses are present along with highly successful jamming signals.
Ballistus is a ringed gas planet loyal to the League of Free Worlds. It follows a so-called jagged orbit. Consequently, it has been known to lurch violently at various points in its history. This occurs around once every 300 Earth years. Although there seems to be no useful pattern which can suggest when this might happen again. The lurch has occurred once since colonization. Attempts have been made to buffer the planet against damage in the future, but scientists are not confident that these measures have anything other than token value. Ballistus was colonized in 4214 AD as a source of raw gases for power. Basic extraction facilities were established within 1 Earth year, which tore away the planet's outer surface. The high rate of extraction led to severe shrinkage by 4224, and Empire scientists were brought in to suggest ways in which ballistas could be recycled. Research showed that if waste gas products from certain types of engine were collected and pumped back into the planet, it would begin to reform itself and would, in time, return to its original state. A recycling policy was put in place, and this system continued until the planet's colonists declared themselves loyal to the League. It was then discovered that the planet had grown too much and was in danger of upsetting the balance of the entire system. Measures are now underway to reverse this process.
Ballistas has been the target of a number of sporadic and violent incursions by the Empire. It has been defended by the use of toxic waste products generated by the planet's core industry. These have successfully driven back several Empire attack waves since they are known to cause genetic mutation. Unfortunately, it is likely that the League Defense Forces had inadequate protection when they handled the toxic waste. This situation is yet to be confirmed.
Calliopeia is a rock planet scarred by deep lesions. These were caused by so-called razor falls during the early phase of its evolution. These razor falls consisted of sharp, blade-like meteors which crashed into the planet, gouging out tall, thin valleys which now house scientific research establishments. Calliopeia is loyal to the League of Free Worlds. Colonized in 4219 AD, the deeply scarred surface of Calliopeia proved unsuitable for conventional building practices. However, the Empire's Construction and Installation Battalion developed a technique of hanging thin, single-corridor constructions from the valley top. These were then stabilized by a counterweight system. The quiet, secure environment proved to be ideal for the establishment of a research laboratory network. Virtually every valley on the planet now houses such a research center. Since the scientific community on Calliopeia refused to continue working for the Empire, the League has established a number of defense positions on the planet's outer surface. The research network continues to carry out scientific work, being concerned primarily with the development of electroplasma technologies.
Calliopeia's defenses are committed to protecting the scientific community, as the fruits of their research are proving invaluable to the League of Free Worlds struggle. Surface bases have been constructed on a flatbed basis, while air defenses are fully stretched, dealing with the frequent incursions by Empire craft sent from adjacent Vergia.
Vergia is a rock planet loyal to the Earth Empire. It produces a valuable liquid ore which has been used throughout the Empire in various heavy industrial processes. The planet also houses a large military presence, briefed to engage League defenses throughout Alpha-Centauri as frequently as possible. It is also likely that a number of the ore mines are now prison bays holding captured League personnel. Vergia was colonized in 4234 AD as a holding compound for hardware to be used in the Empire's continued expansion. Inventories deposited in the waste directory of the Empire's Central Digital Forum list flight craft, artillery, recreation facilities, and staff uniforms among equipment deposited on the planet. Boreholes in Vergia's surface were discovered in 4240. Geological investigation revealed the presence of the valuable liquid ore which is now mined so extensively. Subsequent digimemos to Empire Command recommended the installation of large-scale mining facilities. Bergia now plays a key role in the Empire's industrial infrastructure.
Vergia is defended by a neural trigger system sunk into the planet's core. It is responsible for most of the anti-League aggression within the Alpha-Centauri System. Large military bases house a self-contained command structure with the power to make autonomous military decisions. All attacks should proceed with caution, as capture will inevitably result in torture and execution.